Well, happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. And I think you're going to be in for a bit of a spicy take on things today. But first, before we even start going down that road, let me welcome these guys back. Badel, welcome back. Appreciate you being here, my friend, as always. This guy is here on Friday nights. He's here every time I ask him for these strange, odd streams that we do. I appreciate you, man. I really do. BC PortCorp back in the house. Appreciate you being here. I don't think the stream would be half as good, just me sitting here gaggling without you, my friend. So I appreciate you being here. Welcome back.
Well, I'm always happy to be here. So it's a great time.
I do think it is a great time. I always enjoy these. I always enjoy them. Listen, if you're just jumping in, if you happen to be new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick the bell icon, click the all. That way you know when we're going live all the time. And of course, don't forget, smash the like button. Smash it. All right, let's check before we kind of really kick this puppy off here. Let's see who's in the chat. Who is here? I gotta go all the way back up here and see. We got some people. We got all right at Trade Intuition in the house, and he was started out where he forgot to forward everybody here. Hey man, that's cool. I get it. And yeah, Joe, you are a super supporter of this channel. No worries, my friend. Username in the house. Welcome, username. Appreciate you. I suspected that you would be here because you know. Yeah, there it is. There it is. He supports BC's beard. There. Oh man, I appreciate you guys. I really do. Let's see what else we got. Automatic Beats is in the house. Always another person. Always super supportive of this. And yeah. I don't know. You're saying that now. Automatic Beats. You may not like it when we start talking about Solana. I'm just saying. But
or ADA.
Yeah, well, yeah. For those who are ADA, yeah, people. Miss Crypto Badel, what is she upstairs? I appreciate you being here, Sarah. Listen, Badel, did she tell you she was on my live on Monday when I was live? Well, it was supposed to be with Joe, but Joe ended up falling so far behind in his errands he didn't even make the stream. But she was there.
She asked me if you said anything to me, and I said no. Why? What's up? And she was like, "Oh, I was on the show with him." I'm like, "Oh, awesome."
Honestly, I figured she was going to tell you, but it was awesome. She was great. She was all about being in the chat, so I appreciated that very much. Yeah, well, see everybody, see BC getting the love. I like it. I like it. All right, listen. Well, you know why we're here. The Sunday, Trump put out his list for the strategic crypto reserve. And there's the list here. I'm doing that on purpose, and you'll understand more why I'm doing it that way as we get into this. But let's frame it all up so anybody who's watching this sucker on the replay knows what's going on here. And so this was the original tweet right here that Trump put out. And we'll just read it through real quick. U.S. crypto reserve will elevate. Sorry, I had to switch screens. This critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration. Well, he's not wrong there. That's true. Which is why my executive order on digital assets directed the Presidential Working Group to move forward with a crypto strategic reserve. That includes XRP, Solana, and ADA. It will make sure the U.S. is the crypto capital of the world. We are making America great again. Okay, I'm trying to hold off just a little bit before we get going with that. And now about, I don't know, BC, correct me, but about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I think it was, he put out the second tweet, which I think I got it right here, right? Where basically it was, and obviously BTC and Ethereum are as other valuable cryptocurrencies will be at the heart of the reserve. I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Well, I mean, I would expect him to love Ethereum at least, since they own like a
A
266
crap ton of
billion
it. Yeah.
dollars worth of Ethereum. So like that should probably be on the list. But no, I was kind of disappointed in the order of that, where it's like, okay, you named these altcoins, but like you strategically left out Bitcoin and Ethereum on that initial post for a reason.
Now, okay, you really do believe it was strategic, because I do.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Okay.
market manipulation at its finest.
I mean, he's got so many advisors and screenwriters and everything that inform him and do everything for him, that for this to be a mistake, I doubt
Oh
it.
yeah, the likelihood is quite low. Quite low. I mean, unless this hand ain't talking to this hand. But I don't know. I don't get that sense with
No.
this particular group of people that he's got surrounding him. So I'm with you guys. I think this was quite a strategic move on his part. And look what the markets did, right? Like to the moon. I think ADA doubled, didn't it? I think it was like around 60 cents. Then went up to like a buck 10 or something.
It pretty much doubled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Up
I mean,
110%.
yeah. See, it's like just crazy amounts. Now, for those who are watching this as we speak, the market's pulled back tremendously yesterday. I think we're seeing a little bit of a bounce in them right now. But I mean, to me, that's just the dead cat going off the floor.
That's fine. I'm just gonna keep stacking coins. I bought some Cardano last week and sold it for almost, I'm not gonna say 50%, but I bought it probably about 60% less than what I sold it for in a matter of like 48 hours.
And I was going to say, you are among many, I think, that have were able to take advantage of this. And I'm sorry, I'm an old guy. I grew up with WWE, so here you go, the Macho Man with the flying elbow. I'm sorry, I just had to show that. Go username. Anyway, all right. So let's get you guys' general take, and then maybe we can dive into like these individual coins one at a time. And I want to start with the first three he put out, because those are the first ones he put out. There's a reason. So, Badel, start us off. What do you think? What's your general take about having a crypto strategic reserve? Because remember, originally when it was, you heard a lot of talk, it was Bitcoin strategic reserve, but now it's obviously going to be a crypto strategic reserve. So throw some of your thoughts out there about this in general, the good, the bad, the ugly.
I mean, I like the idea of it. I hope that they actually follow through with it. As far as the choice of coins, I kind of agree, but I kind of disagree. I mean, Bitcoin, obviously. Ethereum, I'm not a big fan of because the fees. But, I mean, you talk about XRP. I mean, I've been a long time holder of XRP, and I'm just hoping that it makes $5, maybe $10 per coin. But other than that, like Solana, I don't know. It's tied to a bunch of meme coins and a bunch of rug pulls, so I don't know if I would have picked that. I mean, XRP kind of seems to be a little bit more on the centralized side, so I don't know if I would have picked that either. As far as Cardano, I'm a huge fan of Cardano, but I mean, what's their use case? Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, to your saying that, yes, but there's a lot of building going on, legit building going on Cardano, let's be honest. I don't know that I can say the same for Solana. Okay, stop. I gotta hold it back. I can't start that already. All right, BC, give us your overview. Lay it out for us.
So, I mean, if we're just going to go off the first ones, I do like that he chose very American cryptos. I will give him that. So, pro on that. That's very nice, and it does kind of give a nod to the crypto space. And you might see that come into effect on some of his policies, which I know we've teased on Piper Academy. We've talked a lot about the American cryptos because that's something they've talked about. And if you want to make America the crypto space, if you're going to signal on a strategic reserve, you better have American cryptos in there. So he did a good job on that. My problem was the projects that he did end up choosing are like very centralized in their organization of token distribution. Your initial layout of those tokens are very centralized. He did choose assets that have utility. So I do like that. It's not like, oh, well, Trump coin's going to be in our
oh my
strategic
God.
reserve, or
Thank God.
Pomp, or Doge, or like Shiba. So at least he chose some things that have actual utility. My big problem with like Cardano and Solana and XRP as the choices are who he's signaling to make rich.
Yes.
And that's why he dropped those first. Who got rich off of that? And that's what we're going to find out as we see the breakdown of these blockchains over this next week. Who bought in at the right times, who sold off at the right times. We will see all of the wallets that made those moves. So who got rich? And that's the question.
That's an interesting question. Did you see, because it was all over X there for a while, someone taking out, what was it, a 50x long on Bitcoin right before this information dropped? Now, again, Bitcoin, it's, it's code. It's not like anybody's gonna, there's no company to Bitcoin that's going to get rich out of that. However, whoever made that 50x long, I'm sorry, that was like all like, hey, this announcement's coming, baby. So
considering that his liquidation amount was 2% lower.
Yes.
So
exactly. Okay. So just to give everybody, I mean, you probably already know my thesis on this, and there's a reason I wanted to start with the first tweet. One, it was his first tweet, but two, because I'm gonna play you a clip in a minute from Anthony Pompliano. He actually did a video about this yesterday with the CEO of what is it, 42. Oh my God, I'm having a brain cramp. 42 something, the company. You'll see in a second when I bring it up. Sorry. And they were basically talking about is Trump really trying to crash the economy? That's what they were trying to figure out and discuss during this video. But at one point, they bring up about this topic that we're discussing today, the crypto strategic reserve. And I liked his take on it because it encapsulates what we've all just said, but puts it in a nice, neat little shell. Now, I encourage everyone that's watching the stream, the link is in the description on my YouTube channel. So go ahead and check it out and watch this entire interview and video from Pompliano at your leisure. But let's take a look at this like 30-second clip right now and see exactly what he's talking about. I think you'll all appreciate this. Oh, hang on. I'm having technical difficulties. Sorry about that, everybody. Whoa, that was very weird. Okay, let me try and start it. Here we go.
Of lobbying going on that is unlike anything that the world has ever seen, because crypto is Wall Street magnified. And so now what you have is a very high stakes game of who gets included in the reserve. And you're getting a bunch of crypto projects that are going to do everything they possibly can to make sure they're included. And as we've seen, crypto projects, they got a lot of money. And, frankly, they're willing to do whatever it takes.
Well, here I still have a question, and I agree with everything you just said.
Okay, and I don't want to get into his question. That takes us down a different road here. But you can see, basically, he's saying we already have lobbyists and lobbying in DC, but it's basically lobbying on steroids because he's right. I mean, let's be honest. I've lost count how many streams about this last election being a cryptocurrency election, how crypto influenced the fact that now Trump is sitting in office. And take that to this extreme that now he's there. What are they influencing? To BC's point, who is getting rich? I just like that take. It's basically now a new level of lobbying, and who is going to be in the reserve. Well, we saw the first three, right? How about we break those down individually? All right, BC, I'm going to let you run point here for these, and we'll chime in. But you're the man, and as much as I have my own opinions, you're my guest. So let's start with XRP. What do you think? Lay it out.
Well, so you have XRP, who is already partnered with SWIFT, who is the American banking system for global currency transfers. And now they're going to be in the Crypto Reserve, which is, it's just a signal to who's going to be the banking token. And that's kind of what you're going to see is XRP is going to take that lead. Link is going to struggle now, although the Trump and the people around Trump do hold a lot of Link. So that's another project I would definitely keep my eye on, considering that XRP and Link are kind of partnered up on some projects here. I do like that XRP has good utility though. So like it does move money around very quickly, but I don't think that what you want in your stockpile is going to be an asset that is also used for daily transfers. So that's kind of my problem there, is like you want a strategic reserve to be something like oil or something like gold or something like silver, which hold their value extremely well, that are not everyday transaction, that have an everyday transaction for the utility. And that's kind of like my problem there. I do have like a breakdown of the token distribution on ADA.
Is that what's on your screen that you got queued up?
I have it on ADA and Solana. So when we get to those, I can show those. But I couldn't find one on XRP. But it's very similar. The centralization on that initial token distribution for XRP is very similar to the way that Solana and Cardano were done. They had an initial coin offering, and you had a lot of these going to very rich people who have held on for quite a while, and also to the team. The team still holds a lot of XRP. Although they've tried to distance themselves, they are daily in that XRP. They are a part of that ledger. I think it's like 3%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're talking about a massive amount of participation, that's still a massive amount of participation, and they're still trying to lead XRP in a certain direction, and they just got the nod from the US government, and that's right. That kind of makes me mad. It's like, what is their actual utility here for besides transferring money?
Money transfer, yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and now it's okay. Well, we had the SWIFT system. Well, let's give you the nod and the okay. So you're just going to replace SWIFT with a crypto version of it, and we're going to have the same power and control. I see that as a potential problem. You don't want centralization in crypto, and this opens the door for crazy centralization, more than is already on very centralized projects like XRP and ADA and Solana.
But maybe that's what the government and the president is looking for, is a centralized projects that they can keep the big brother eye on.
Well, I mean, probably, but it's also not a positive to crypto.
Right.
Agree.
So
I think that, I mean, if you talk to most people that are involved in this whole framework that they're trying to put together for crypto, I think just about everybody agrees, and it seems obvious to me that they're probably going to come forward with something like a stablecoin legislation first. Now, that being said, what is the easiest place to deal with that? In my opinion, kind of on an XRP scenario, right? I mean, if you're going to try to keep the US dollar as the centralized world reserve currency, why not put it on something that's basically going to be able to go and instantaneously do what needs to be done, and think about the level of programmability that'll be there. I mean, again, that's probably, I'm trying not to get down that road, but it's just like pouring out of me right now, because I just see that as a holy crap, a potential nightmare. And to BC's point, that that's the opposite of what the crypto space was supposed to be, and to a major degree, a lot of what we're seeing right here in these choices, these first three choices, and I don't want to get too bogged down with XRP, but again, for many of the reasons that well, and okay, username is pointing out USDC will be the stable coin. Yes, the stable coin of choice. I don't disagree. I think they've made a lot of that already happen, because I mean, USDC can be already, they can block addresses, all this other kind of stuff already with USDC. But again, not trying to get down that road. I'm pulling it back over to XRP here. But bottom line is, it's too centralized, and you've got Brad Garlinghouse, and I got nothing against him being a mentor, a guide for this task force, because I mean, the guy's been in the space for how long? It makes sense. He has a unique perspective, as do like Charles Hoskinson, for that matter, when we get to XRP. XRP to ADA. But I feel much like we discussed that these guys are now beyond that. They're potentially spending their way into the strategic crypto reserve. That not only screws the capitalistic end of it and what we're trying to do with that reserve, but also puts the government with too many fingers in the pie, gives them way too much control over that situation. Okay, there's my 2 cents. If you guys want to add anything else to that, by all means. If not, BC, feel free to move us on to Solana, because I know Solana is your favorite.
Oh yeah. Well, I can definitely go into Solana. There is the big problem that Trump and his team have giant associations with Solana, the same way
Obviously.
that they do with XRP. So they released a whole token with their DeFi exchange on Solana that they rug pulled everyone with. So of course, I kind of figured that if they were going to do a crypto stockpile, that Solana would be on that list, because
Absolutely.
they have giant associations with it. Not only that, but like if you look at Solana's token distribution, which that's going to be this screen share.
Is that what you just brought up? Okay.
Yep. I'll zoom that in so y'all can see a little bit better. Here's this token distribution on Solana, and you can kind of see here's almost 40% for the community, which, I mean, not terrible, but you have 60% of token distribution is not available to the public. And that's kind of potentially problematic there. So when you're talking about, you're going to put this in the government's hands as a stockpile asset. So this almost 40% is going to decrease drastically, which leaves it very limited for the people that can actually end up buying it. You do have a bit that is held up in for staking rewards, which is about 5%. Very small, but you have the foundation owns 10% of your token distribution. You have the team owns almost 13% of your token distribution. You have the founding sale, owns 13% of your token distribution. And then, oh, look at this. The seed fund, the VCs own almost about 16%. And that takes up most of your token supply, leaving very limited to be bought up by just your everyday person. Not to mention all the crap that happens on the blockchain.
Well, exactly. You just literally hit the proverbial nail on the head. I mean, we've seen what's happening as far as the scams, and that's. I mean, I'm sorry. There's no other way. I'm not even going to use air quotes. The hell with that. They are scams, and well, I mean, how many people got just rugged with all this meme coin baloney, and it's come out all about it. We talked about it already on a previous stream about this, and let's be honest, as far as centralization is concerned, Solana's right there. I mean, I'm talking strictly from a blockchain operations point of view. First off, they can't go a whole year without running properly. I'm sorry. They're going down constantly. Why would you want something like that? One, in your strategic reserve, and two, one of the things I talked about earlier this week, as an ETF. I mean, it's like, holy crap, are you looking to screw people? Because that's basically, in my opinion, what this is. And
on that note, though, I mean, why would they pick Ethereum if Ethereum has the right to roll back the blockchain?
Well, that was going to be a conversation when we got to Ethereum. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And username saying that they want Solana on the NASDAQ. Maybe this nudges them to actually go down to that. Perhaps. And well, again, you got the futures. I believe starts next week, the 17th, something like that. You know the DTCC website's already got the listing for their ETF, so it's going that way, whether we like it to go that way, whether we don't want it to go that way. But I'm thinking if there's something that's going to go out to the general public, that's going to be out there, that's going to get picked up when it just breaks down and they got to restart it again, that's the thing that's going to shoot crypto in the foot. And then it's going to be like, oh, this is the crap that's in our reserve to boot. No, this project in particular, in my humble opinion, one, is not ready for an ETF, and two, is not ready to be part of the reserve. But like BC said, I fully see why he added that in there. He has no choice. I mean, he's loaded his own meme coins on there. To think that wasn't coming would be stupidity. Anyway, sorry, my blood pressure's getting up. I can feel it already. But
and then there's another problem, is that Solana has an infinite supply. There is no set supply. There's no limit on the tokens. So yes, it has a burn mechanism. Cool. But that doesn't matter if there's infinity tokens. That's not what you want your reserve asset to be, is something that has no supply cap. There's no set market cap on it. It will continue to grow and continue to grow and continue to grow. So there's another problem there. Solana's got a lot of problems.
Oh yeah.
If you want it as a stockpile asset, it's fine if you want it as a utility for something else, which, I mean, it's got great utility. It's just fixing things to have its full use case of utility.
Yep. No, good point. That's a good point. Honestly, I hadn't even thought about that. But yep, you're right. We need a finite asset that's going to actually increase in value. And yeah. Okay. So shall we hit Cardano? Now, in full disclosure, I love Cardano. I really do. I hold Cardano. I stake Cardano. So before anybody's you talk about Cardano. Yes. It's out there. Yes, I do. But just because of that, and again, though I like the blockchain as a whole, here's the thing. I still don't want to see it in the reserve. I just don't. But before I get too far down my rabbit hole, go ahead, BC. Throw out the facts.
I mean, I like Cardano as a utility project. I
Yes,
do like that it has a very closed off system. Uh, it kind of has made it move slow, and so it hasn't done a whole lot of sketchy things, and it's a very clean blockchain.
exactly.
Um, it does have a few problems with how you can build on it, which is not necessarily a negative thing. It does have that barrier to entry, which is a good thing. Of all the assets that he chose, I think ADA is probably one of the cleanest besides its initial token distribution. So other than that, it is a solid project. I used to love Ada. I kind of shied away from it quite a bit just because it does move extremely slow. And I felt that if it does end up getting its butt into high gear, that there would be plenty of time to buy back in. Um, I am kind of curious, the same with Solana, as what are the staking repercussions of this now? So you can stake Solana and you can also stake ADA. And if you are
Yes.
talking about they have a large token distribution held by the US government, what kind of sway does this bring you on voting? Because you get voting rights if you hold ADA and you stake it. And
That's true.
I'm assuming that the people in charge of all of this are smart enough to understand that. And this allows them more centralization on this blockchain.
Well, as I understand the way it was developed, and again, I'm no developer, feel free correct me in the chat, or if you're again watching this on the replay in the comments. But as I understand it, as it was programmed, the DPoS system, excuse me, was programmed so no one delegate could get too strong. And if they were like over 100% delegated, so you can pick your you want to stake your Cardano, you decide which DPoS pool you're going to put it in, which node, okay? And then that you get a percentage of how full that node is. And once it reaches a certain point, and I believe it's below 100%, they start to lose their ability to effectively get to epochs. So to the point of, okay, so how much control does that a big entity like the U.S. government, for example, have in that big scheme of things? I would like to believe, at least as far as Cardano is concerned, that they would have a limited amount because of that programming. Do you agree with that, or am I off base? Did I get that wrong? I don't think I did.
And that's where, if you're smart, which I'm there's people that are way smarter than I am that are going to be in charge of all of these things. And this is where you're going to delegate a large token amount to several of these. And you don't need much. You just need to be that kind of largest swaying vote. And that's where, instead of all of your eggs in one basket, which I mean, the government would be smart enough to kind of spread it out,
I would hope so.
you have a bigger tranche of a voting block. And a lot of these times, these big voting blocks sway a lot of these other voting blocks, which is something you've seen in not just ADA, but several of these projects where if you stake it, you get voting rights. You
Right.
see those bigger holdings sway these smaller votes. They're like, well, you say it's for the good of the blockchain. All right, we'll vote with you. And I don't think that the government has the good of the blockchain in anyone's interest.
Well, again, yeah, you're not going to get an argument from me with regard to trusting the government right there, or at least in general. And Alexandra G is in the house, by the way. I know I jumped over there into the chat and welcomed her in the chat, but officially giving her the shout out. Love the fact that you're here, and thank you for that comment right there. We're trying to put out good information to let everybody think. Bottom line is, unfortunately, BC, it looks like this is going to happen whether we rail about it or not.
I mean, potentially, because here's the other
Do you need me to bring the
Think-
screen up?
Well, you can in a second. And the other thing
Okay.
about that is that this is not a guarantee. Everyone thinks that, oh yeah, strategic reserve, it's going to happen.
Good point.
Not necessarily, because it's still got to get through both houses of Congress. It's got to get through the House. Fine, you can get that one in. You've got your Republican majority. You get to the Senate, though, and that's where you start running into problems. The Republicans have a 1-seat majority. You need 60 votes to pass this. So you can get all the way there, and to spend money on a government level, it's got to be approved by Congress.
Yes, that's true.
So this is probably the most bullish news we will hear this entire cycle, but it's not even a guarantee.
That's true. Well, you know what? Because you said that, I was going to kind of go down this road with a different question a little bit later, but seeing you brought it up, how do you see them funding this? I mean, do you really think that they're going to use debt, create new debt to buy this crypto? That's like the snake eating itself, which wouldn't surprise me for the U.S. government. But
I mean, do you see them doing it in the most effective way? Like we're talking about the government here. I mean, they are trying to cut billions and billions from their spending. So that does open up a little bit of a possibility to spend legitimate money on this, but that's still the U.S. taxpayers' dollars going to buy crypto.
and that's insane to me to a certain degree. Say that 5 times fast. Especially when we're talking these smaller cap cryptos. Now, for Bitcoin, I could almost live with it. I would like to see that conversion happen for whatever the U.S. is already holding in Bitcoin reserves, confiscated Bitcoin put into the reserves. I would like to see that be the start. But again, stuff that needs to, as you just said, be through Congress, because even that needs congressional approval, and the framework for this strategic reserve. Yeah, okay. Again, his EO starts the move, gets everything going, gets people talking, and loves Cynthia Lummis, very strong advocate, although she's a Bitcoin pretty much only advocate with regard to the strategic reserve, which again, whatever.
I'm okay with.
But yeah, and that's why I'm like, okay, whatever. But unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to go down that road, because I got to believe, much like we started way in the beginning, saying that, he with the most money wins, kind of thing when it comes to this lobbying effort. And I'll be nice. I'll call it a lobbying effort. That's going to happen in Congress as well. So to think that we're going to be able to just see Bitcoin in there, I don't know about that. And thank you for allowing me to kind of deviate on that. Do either you guys have anything else to throw in there with regard to that before I jump in to the next topic or the next crypto?
I do have the token distribution on ADA, which is
okay, yeah.
Solana was bad. Take a look at ADA, because it's even worse. So you've got your initial coin offering being almost 60%. So this was his friends, this was venture capitals, this was big money players that got in on the ground floor and have been holding ADA forever. And then you have the team owning 11.5%, and then here's 30% for staking rewards. Also, just it's staking, but also your everyday use case circleization. So you have almost 70% of your ADA distribution is held by big money and the team. So very centralized as well on its token distribution, which is also something that concerns me.
No, it makes good sense why it would. I didn't realize it was that high in regard to like the initial, because correct me again if I'm wrong, didn't this whole ICO thing happen outside of this country, as I recall? Wasn't it in?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure I'm not completely off base here. It's like I said, it's been a long journey here in the crypto space. So it's not like I can, you don't remember it all as it goes here. So.
And it never ends. I mean, every day there's something new, I feel.
New. No, I agree, man. I agree. I see a bunch of people saying hi to Shu. Oh, there he is. I'm like, Shuby's in the house. We got to say hi to Shuby. Welcome. Appreciate you being here, my friend. Appreciate that. I saw a bunch of people going, hey, Shuby, Shuby, Shuby. I'm like, what the hell am I missing right now? All right. So we kind of went through the first three he put out there. I think we can sum up by saying that I don't think any of us are really thrilled about necessarily seeing any of those in the strategic reserve. Now, again, caveat that, like BC was saying, we talked about this in the last Bitcoin reserve versus strategic crypto reserve live stream that we did. And, maybe revisiting it in the future would have been a good idea. So like, ADA in the future or whatever in the future. Yeah. Okay, fine. I'm not convinced that any of these are ready to be here, but they're.
I wonder if the coin price also made what do you call that? A matter in which coins he picked. Because I mean, if you look at
you really think that
on XRP and ADA, I mean, you go anywhere from like $90,000 Bitcoin down to 75-cent Cardano, and then there's 4 others in between.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, maybe the price per token may have had a small role to play in it also.
Well, I don't know. I'm not convinced of that. To be completely honest with you, I think my opinion, the hell do I know? It was more about. It looks like it was more about him owing favors. That's what it looks like to me. I'm sorry. I got to listen. I think out of the candidates we had to choose from, Trump was the guy. Just saying, and especially with the team he had around them, with RFK and all this, and Vivek and all this other stuff. Absolutely, hands down. So please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But just because I agreed with that doesn't mean I agree with everything he's currently doing. And in with relation to cryptocurrency, I like the reserve idea, but I'm not happy with this particular thing. And I'm getting to my closing here before we even get into this other stuff. Okay. Let's go to ETH. Just thinking about it makes me shake my head. Go ahead, BC.
I mean,
start us off, will you?
This would be a great one to. I've got this other screen pulled up. I will zoom that on in. So I'm not sure if everyone knows, but the Trump team has their own DeFi exchange, which owns a massive amount of Ethereum. They hold almost it was 3 million before everything kind of dumped off. It's now sitting at $266 million worth of Ethereum. So 170.35 thousand Ethereum is a massive holdings by them. And of course, that's going to be added to their list. I'm kind of okay with it because Ethereum is, the queen of crypto, but I'm also very not okay with it because you have this being another very centralized crypto project. You have, as we talked about in our last live stream, where Ethereum has a lot of blockchain problems. They were able to roll back transactions from a DAO hack. That's not what you want your reserve asset to be. This is like, you're like, okay, well, we put gold in our reserve, but we also put Tinker Toys and Legos and like these are like little toy projects compared to gold. It's like, why would you want these lumped together? It's like, yes, it's number 2, but like just because something's number 2 doesn't mean that it's good.
Yes. Exactly.
I would have been okay with. See, I would have been more okay with him saying H bar is going to be in there, and like
What?
just because it's a utility project and it's got like everyday use case and it's not overly centralized. And it'd be very hard to take over, have any problems on. It moves so quickly. But like that's also signaling who are we gonna make rich? Like he has no associations with H bar. That's why H bar is not on the list. And that's a big problem with a lot of these. He has massive associations with Ethereum. They stake massive amounts of Ethereum. And this I see as a problem.
I think it'd be nice if he came out with and showed the public like a list of the cryptocurrencies that they were actually going to talk about maybe using.
Yeah.
And as to why they chose these, that to me that's transparent, and that's what I would like to see.
I would love to see it too, but you know that they're not gonna.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Unfortunately,
I mean, you pointing the fact out that they have an exchange on ETH and they own what, like 170 something thousand ETH or something like that. Like, yeah, no wonder why that made it in the list of the top 5, because they're just going to make even more money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
they don't own Bitcoin. They owned wrapped Bitcoin, which means that they're staking Bitcoin.
yes.
And they own almost 100. Well, it was almost $100 million worth, but it's now sitting at like 70,000. But like that's still quite a bit. Or 70 million. My bad. $70 million worth of wrapped Bitcoin, which they are staking. They are choosing specific assets. And if you kind of look at what they're choosing, it worries me just a bit.
I agreed, and I'm going to just remove this here. They're all about DeFi, and when I say DeFi, I'm talking about these projects such as, like you just said, Ethereum. Why? They're about the staking. They're about those kind of additional rewards. As a matter of fact, anybody feel free to correct me in the chat or whatever, but his son, as far as I'm aware, is speaking this week at ETH Denver. So it's like, I mean, I get it. And like you said, if given the choices of XRP, Solana, ADA, and Ethereum, I guess I'd rather see Ethereum. But by the same token, no pun intended, by the same token, I wouldn't want to see any of them at this point in time, because for the very reasons that we've been saying, all of these things, well, the majority of them, I don't see Cardano. I get what you're saying about that. I'm hoping that like a delegated proof of stake thing will help to foray this, and spread out this potential centralization a little bit, but could be wrong. Overall, though, they're all too centralized for what we want in a strategic reserve. To that point, I want to bring up RMT's comment here, and RMT's in the house. Thank you. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. I voted no, and he's referring to the poll that's on the chat, that's on the stream. So go ahead and vote if you haven't already done that. I'm going to close that out in a minute. Because I don't want to see a crypto reserve at all. Can't we just leave it as an alternative peer-to-peer medium of exchange? Yes, I'm bitter. I get it. I get it. And like I said, for that last stream that I did with BC and Brian from Tiny Crypto Blog, and we were talking this all out, it's just, man, they kind of swayed me to the point that, yeah, this other stuff is not mature enough to be in this reserve yet. It's just not, and my opinion. I thought I saw somebody else jumping in here, guys. If you got something else you want to add, thought I saw something in the comments and I lost it. Jay, well, Violet's in the house.
That just came in, yeah.
Welcome. Appreciate you being here. BC, Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was seeing things. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, so then that brings us to Bitcoin. Obviously, and now that video we started out or had from Pompliano, one of the arguments he makes about, whoa, we just lost BC.
He said he had a breaker blow.
Oh, he did? I didn't even see he said that. Oh, man, damn. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
I'll show
we're
you
on our
quick.
own. Oh, shit. Oh, okay, I didn't even see that. Got it. Oh, man. Okay, well, anyway, in the beginning or middle-ish of this particular live stream, I showed the video, and again, link is in my YouTube description, that Pompliano did yesterday with the CEO of 42 Macro, and they were trying to decide, is Trump trying to really crash the economy here? But his reasoning behind having a BTC only reserve was because we got him back. Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was wild.
I didn't even see your comment. Badel showed me. I didn't even see it. So everything good? You okay?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Well, welcome back. Anyway, I was just circling back about the BTC thing, and I was mentioning what Pompliano said. Again, go watch that entire video. It is worth your time. But he says that the reason we need a Bitcoin, or in that video, he says the reason we need a Bitcoin only strategic reserve is because we have a gold reserve and Bitcoin is digital gold. Okay, I kind of get it, but I'm sure if you really think about it, there are better reasons than that. And again, I get it. If you watch that video, you'll see he, like RMT just said, Pompliano seems bitter, to use my air quotes there, about this situation, kind of like RMT said, he's bitter. And there is pushback. I want to bring this up just because I think it'll solidify some of the pushback. Now, this is in a Crypto Slate article, and again, the link is in the description. But this is comments from the CEO of Crypto Quant. Basically, Trump mentioned XRP, SOL, and ADA. Then he brought up BTC and ETH 2 hours later. Can I interpret his tweets this way? Basically, what he's saying is, BTC and ETH, show me your strategic value for me and the US. Then I just closed a deal with XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Sorry, it does appear that way. I don't care how you slice it or dice it. And I mean, I don't follow this guy from Crypto Quant very much, but what are your thoughts about that? Does that sum up the negativity we're seeing? Because there has been a little bit of negativity beyond just the Bitcoin maxi negativity.
I think it was just a way to maybe pump the markets a little bit and make people money in those three coins. Because, I mean, last year at BTC Nashville, when he spoke, we were all waiting for the crypto word or the Bitcoin word, and he never said Bitcoin. He never said any coin.
Yep. Well, yeah.
And for him to say those three, and then 2 hours later come out with the ones that, well, at least one we were expecting Bitcoin, the other one Ethereum, sure, whatever. But like we've been waiting however long for him to say Bitcoin, and he finally did. But 2 hours after, he mentioned a few other coins.
Yes, and Alexandra G, thank you so much. You are the best. She just put the link to that. So if you don't want to go into the description, there it is right there in the chat. Thank you for doing that. Much appreciated. Again, it's worth watching to get a bigger macro picture of what's going on in general, because they touch on a lot of things, and trying to break down all this kind of go fast and break things attitude that we see with the Trump administration right now. Which, not for nothing, yes, and what she said, watch it later, not now. But yeah, damn, that's all I got to say about that. You need to watch that. All right, BC. I know we're getting almost an hour in here at this point, but we should probably. Okay, wait. Let me ask this. One of the arguments that Pompliano makes in that video is this reserve should be BTC or nothing. That's his argument because of this whole lobbying effort that we talked about already and points that you made yourself. What do you say? Do you agree with that? BTC or nothing?
I totally agree with that. And that's just because if you look at it, Bitcoin is very uncentralized. There's no staking rewards. There's nothing that the US could do that they could have any control of Bitcoin in total. And that's something I'd like. You could have maybe like 10% of total supply, but even that would be pushing it because it's going to keep rising in price as you're buying more and buying more. But a lot of that is like you're not really going to make any one person rich because the biggest holders of Bitcoin don't even hold over 1%. So like you're going to make everyone better. You're tying the US dollar to a very, very strong asset instead of tying it to a basket of assets where you'd see some of it go up and some of it go down. Like, yeah, it's in your personal portfolio. It is good to hedge. You'll get your big gains and you have your safety. When you're tying your dollar to a reserve asset, you want something that's just stable and has stable growth. And these other projects don't have that. XRP just broke its trend of making lower highs this cycle for the first time since its original cycle. You have Solana, who's only been around for one other cycle and not even the full thing. You have ADA, it's been around for a while, but still it hasn't proven itself to be anything. And that's where these assets that he chose have not proven themselves as anything more than just a fun place to put your money and have fun.
You're not wrong about that, in my opinion. I agree with that assessment. Badel, what do you think? I know you stepped away for a second. Basically, what the reason and context of the question was in that Pompliano video, one of the things he said was BTC only, crypto reserve, or nothing. Do you agree with that? Oh, you're muted, brother. You're muted.
I kind of agree with that. But to me, it's like going back in the olden days, back when we were on the gold standard. But at that time, what was there? Gold and silver. That was about the only precious metals. And they only picked one out of the two. Maybe there was a few more, but, gold and silver were the most. So that would be like just picking Bitcoin out of all these other cryptos. It kind of makes sense, but, new age, new times, I feel you should at least pick a few others rather than Bitcoin. Now, what would they be? I don't know. I mean, obviously, we don't really agree with the 5 that he chose, to the fullest, but, some of us agree with 1 or 2, some of us agree with the other 1 or 2, and then you have that whatever, but,
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this as somebody in the chat here, and I'll let mods deal with it at this point. Anyway, I see what you're saying, and I want to just bring up RMT's comment here. They can't control. Now, this is going back to what BC was just saying, obviously, but they can acquire 1 million coins in 5 years and decide to dump them all at once to pay off the national debt. They will instantly destroy the entire crypto market. I think there are other issues with regard to what the government can do with regard to Bitcoin. I know I'm not saying that wouldn't happen, but I'd be more worried about them grabbing it up, controlling it, and then strangling it because they own so much of it. But that's just me.
I mean, that could have been why they picked these 5, though, is because they have the biggest bags of those 5. Or, they know personal friends with people that have the biggest bags, and that way it gives them control over the whole crypto market scene. I mean, a lot of people talk about our gold reserves at Fort Knox. Elon Musk wanted to show a live video of it, and it's been how many weeks now, and it still hasn't come around? Is it because we have gold there, or because we don't?
Gold there. There's no gold there.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
A few days after it came out, a lot of the world banks have been flying gold all around the world. Why? Are they trying to stock up Fort Knox real quick just for a 5 or 10 minute long video, and then they're going to mail it all?
And exactly, they're exactly.
I mean, between the president and Trump, between President Trump and Elon, if they wanted to go to Fort Knox, it should only be a day or 2 thing, to get the clearance, make sure, blah, 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 not weeks and then months, and then they're just hoping we forget about it. No, I don't think we will.
I would like to think not, but either way, even if they go, are we going to get the truth out of that? I'm not so convinced about that either. Just saying. BC, I saw you've got something else on a screen here in the back. Do you need me to bring that up? Oh, did BC just freeze up on us again?
He did say, I think that's me done for the evening.
Yeah, damn. He had something brought up in the back, and I was hoping to get to it. All right, BC. Hey, man, take care of the issues that are going on there. Appreciate you. And Joe, I just wanted to say, Joe, Trade Intuition, thank you. I saw, thank you to Badel, that he put that comment aside for me to go ahead and get that screenshot of the USA coins. But at this point, I think I'm going to start to wrap this stream. We're dropping like flies right now. Yes, there we go. Thank you. I was just about to bring that up. Excellent. Yeah, lost power. Really? Blizzard conditions.
Chuck Danger is here as we're almost about to roll out.
Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you, Chuck. Appreciate everybody that's been in the chat. All right, let's wrap this up. Here's the thing. Am I happy with it being a crypto strategic reserve? At this point in time, my answer is no. Oh, and by the way, I did close out that poll. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me go real quick because I don't remember what the stats were. Here it is. So everybody knows. I mean, you can see it in the comments. But the question was, do you want to see ETH, XRP, Solana, and ADA as part of the U.S. crypto reserve? And 43% said yes. So the majority of the people watching this stream right now are all about it. 31% said no. And the I wanted to give a third option because I can understand why some people might want one or not not another. And that was, I said maybe one or two of them, and 25% of the people said that. So if you put together the yes votes with the people who said, yeah, maybe one or two of these, that is a stern majority. Almost 70% of you want to see these in reserve. That's yeah. And there's RMT right there. 69% of you are wrong. And RMT, you're the man. I gotta say, I'm agreeing with RMT right now. I am agreeing with him. All right, but that is gonna do it for tonight. I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate you sharing, liking. Matter of fact, if you haven't already done so, make sure you smash up that like button. So you know what's going on. Obviously, for this channel, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Crypto on the Rocks. Badel, wait, that side. Badel and I will be here along with Trader Joe in the house. Trade Intuition will be here, and Shuby, no doubt. And we'll be talking, who knows? Honestly, we'll probably be talking a little bit about the crypto summit that's happening earlier that day at the White House, and do that over a beer or two. We'll see what I can pull up and bring together for that. Next week, next Tuesday, I'm going to try to pull this together if BC PortCorp doesn't end up in blizzard conditions again. And we'll see if we can't. Yes, that's right. And I forgot, BC said he will be there on Friday. He did tell me that. Thank you for bringing that up, Adele. I completely forgotten. Appreciate that. And any of the mods that are left, because I don't have it ready because I'm ill prepared, could you please put the link to the X space for Billy Goat Tales tonight in the chat? That way people can go there. I really appreciate that if you're ready for that, if you're able to do that. And so next week, again, I'm going to try and pull something together on Tuesday with these guys again. And then the following Tuesday, I'm expecting that Matrix Money podcast will be back online.
You're going to have to try after next week. I see how it is.
Well, no. Well, that's funny you say that. It's okay. Only because he said this. I haven't even talked to these guys about it yet. Oh, awesome. Jay Violet, you guys, I love it. Jay Violet, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Guys, make sure you're heading over to Billy Goat Tales X Space tonight. They have the best X spaces. You got to be there. I haven't gone on like taking the mic, as they say, but I try to always listen in the background because always good alpha there. So there's the link to make sure you join 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight. So a little under 2 hours. Thank you, Jay Violet. But I keep getting confused with where he is. But because Badel just said that, yes, that's right. Lifer is the special guest tonight, correct, on that X Space. I plan to have a conversation with Badel and with BC PortCorp and see if we can't make this a regular thing, because I think that most of you guys enjoy what we got going on. We're going to have to obviously change the day because I'm committed on Tuesday nights to Matrix Money podcast. But I'm hoping maybe we can coordinate something on a Wednesday. But I'm still going to talk with these guys again. You're hearing it before they heard it. So they're hearing it the same time as you at this point.
Sometimes you just got to tell me to shut my mouth.
No. It was something that was already on the plan. So again, I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you. Don't forget, smash up that like on the way out the door. I'm going to wrap this up. And again, don't forget Billy Goat Tales tonight. And as Jay Violet said right here, Lifer, Crypto Lifer, the special guest on the X Space tonight. So it's going to be a good one. So make sure that you are there. All right. Badel and I are out. You guys have a great night.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night, ladies and gents.